What's up, guys? Trying to sort of fix the lighting in here. Having some issues. So, I'm just gonna make do with what we got. I'm lost right now. Give me just a second. No. Oh. Alright. What's up? Episode 97, Tree Talk Tuesday. We are gonna. The lighting is so messed up in here. We're gonna do like a demo on remote rigging. So if you were to set a rigging system up in a tree, you didn't need to climb it, and you wanted it to be retrievable and be able to set everything from the ground. Um, this same thing can be used in climbing, but I'm going to show you how to attach rigging rings to the setup a couple different ways, how to attach a pulley, and I think there was something else. The main thing is just the steps to do to retrieve the stuff. There's a couple mess ups you could make, and then you end up causing yourself a lot of work, and you got to go up there to get stuff. But yeah, we'll get into that. But I'll start with and run the analytics off real quick just to be done with it. I think. I don't know what I did with it. I don't really care that much either, so I'm about to say whatever. Oh, here it is. Last week I did 2 videos, 4 shorts and 1 live. There's 7.1 thousand, 19 new subs. The videos that did good were the trick tips videos, which I plan on those are kind of funner for me to make. So I think I'm going to do those, and if you like those are in a playlist on the channel. And I'm trying to keep them all together to where you can just like run through them. And the fun part is trying to be able to show something within a minute, and that kind of makes it a challenge. Um, 289 likes, 14 shares, 59 comments, made a whopping $18. So there were the analytics for the channel. What's up, Ground Pounder? Who all do we have here? JC's here. James, what's up, buddy? Alright, so let's figure out how we're going to do this. Alright. I have one more light if I end up needing it to kind of fix the lighting a little bit in here. Let's see how this does. I probably, you know what I should have done? I should have took the video and went vertical. Yeah, that's what I should have done. If I would have done it vertical, it would have been much better. It would have shown everything. That thing is blinding me. I can't handle that. That's crazy. I don't even know where to put it. Hopefully that works. The lighting's got to be a little better with that thing not even on. Like, I'm about to just turn it off, but let's see. That's lit up pretty good. Let me show you what all I'm gonna cover. Who else here? See, this is the problem. The reason I don't like the. Let me see if I can turn this light off and get away with it. Let's see. This damn thing. It's ridiculous. Okay. That's lit up good enough, right? I mean, I'm gonna try. So let me just kind of see what you guys are doing real quick, and then we'll kind of get into it. And if you guys want to ever get into, you have a topic you want me to cover, bring it up. Like, say it, because the reason I just did the rope walking video was because a ground pounder. He said he was kind of looking for a little bit of info on it, and I have no problem doing those kind of videos and just kind of covering all bases on it. So if you get something that you need some help with, let me know. You gotta say something. But let's see. Peter's here. What's up, buddy? Yeah, yeah, ground pound. I only had to make 2 videos, 4 shorts, and go live for an hour. Christian Jorgensen, what's up, man? Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, Christian. That's cool. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it, man. So in this one, I'm going to show you how to set. If you look, this little tree thing has a top there on it, like a crotch. We'll use this. We'll set a remote rigging system. I'll show you how to anchor it and everything, because I actually recorded this video and lost all the footage. So I'm just going to do a live feed on it, and I can answer any questions along the way. So I like the shorts this week. Right on, James. That's the kind of stuff I think I'm going to do more of. So I just got the hitch climber. Oh, that's cool. I would like. I think I would like it. Oh, right on, ground pounder. Um, so let's set our quick. Oh, what I was going to do. This is what I'm going to show you how to set. Okay, I'm not going to show you. First, I'll tell you what I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to show you how to set up one small ring. I don't feel like that's safe. If you see how skinny that thing is, um, to be rigging a bunch of stuff off of. And with this setup, it's not as strong. It becomes a bit weaker because you're dependent on a rope and stuff. So um, you got to remember that the bend radius is going to matter big time. So I'm going to show you how to set up if you have a ring to ring setup, which I feel like a lot of tree guys have these. I'm going to show you how to set up a single ring 2 different ways, but I'll show you how to set up a B string, and I'll show you how to set up a bend right ring, which is a ring that's got dual channels. So, but you can see the bend radius is pretty close between the two, but the bend right's got a better. But the B string is enough of a good bend radius that I feel safe with it, but I wouldn't go less than this. So, and I'll show you, because some guys don't do rigging rings to set up the block, and I'm sure there's like different ways to do this. I'm just going to show you the way I do it. So, what's up, Billy? What's up, Jake? Very good video. Yeah, definitely great. It was kind of fun to make too, because I just kind of have stuff and I look at it afterwards and I'm like, maybe this will work, and I just kind of put a video together almost that way. I usually don't come into things with like a plot or an idea or a script or anything like that. So Um, I'm gonna set up the quick climber setup on this thing just to use it because it should be sitting here on top, very easy to get to, and of course it's not. Oh, okay, I have it set up on the bigger version because I was actually out there doing that remote climbing setup, that short. That was tough. Even Peter understands my pain there and how hard it is to try to squeak out a video that you can get something from within a minute. He's telling me I got to start figuring out how to talk like the Micro Machine Man so I can get a good video out with only 60 seconds. It's tough. So I showed you guys how to do this, so I'm not going to get into it. Set that up. I think I did one more wrap this time, but whatever, it'll be enough. Now this same setup, you could use this if you were doing spar work and just bring it with you as you're working a block down, and this will work like a tree squeeze right there, and you could clip in and use it, and it's adjustable, so as you're going down the tree you could widen it a little bit. The way it would work, you just clip in a regular beaner, and then you basically have something that's got you very close to your cut, but you can anchor it off, put it off to the side, and then you just clip in right there. So, and all you would do is slap yourself a stopper knot in this, just to make sure it wouldn't slip like at all. It can't. And then as you're working your way, down the tree, you could just take it and loosen it and adjust it, and you could hang down on that or up. That system still works. For this one, we're going to be using it to hold something going up, so there, move it down a little bit because we're going to be using it like a base anchor. The way these will work, like if you're setting one of these systems or this setup and you're trying to use it, you're still going to look up in the tree and find the crotch that you want to work out of. What's the strongest one? So with this one, it's very obvious. There's only the one. So we're going to use that one. We would throw a throw line up through it and then lift a rope up through it and back down. So down here, after we get the rope back down to us, we would I prefer the circus knot. That's just my favorite. So it's 3 wraps. So 3 wraps. And then you lift the second one, pull the first one, third one, first one. And that's just my favorite. So that's what I use. You could use the Alpine Butterfly. But I use those knots because they're midline. It doesn't matter which way it's really torquing on the rope. It's still going to hold it in place and not slip. You can put a little stopper knot in there if you had enough rope left. But when you get to this point, then you're going to decide, whoa. That was crazy. You're going to decide what it is you're going to rig off of. And in this case, um, let's go with the thing's long enough. Yeah, it'll work for this. Because I don't want to unwrap a bunch of big ropes. We'll go 2 different colored ropes. So the white rope is going to be our rope that we want to rig from. The red rope, which should be the strongest of the 2, is going to be the anchor. So we would decide what it is we're going to rig from. Let's go with the, I feel like I never do anything on pulleys. Let's go with the pulley first. So this is similar to the climbing one, but a little more detailed. Clip your pulley in, lock it into place. Then you're going to set your rigging rope. Before you go pull this up into the tree, you've got to set, you've got to set your rigging. So you get your block, put your rope in, and then put your little stopper knot. That way it doesn't pull itself out. One that you could, like if you put a little one like that, it'll stop it from coming out, and then when it gets up there, you can just pull on it and it'll come out. So wrap it over the little stopper, because as it pulls it up, the heavy end is going to keep it, and this end is going to want to come back out, so it doesn't have as much weight. So you start to pull that up, bring it all the way up to the point that you're going to rig from. And then you'll anchor that rope. I'm going to pull that stopper knot out. So we got a rigging set up there. We're going to pull that up. And then when you start rigging here, this is going to drop down a little bit. So you got to remember that. So if you can get it way up in there and the crotch ain't that tight, you probably want to put it as far as you can, because it is going to droop a little bit. So then you would come down here to this, and I would just tie another circus knot here. And then clip off to my anchor that I put on. This is what makes it real simple here, but you could just anchor the rope the other way, and you weight that down real good, and your rigging system is set up. You can rig from this. Then when you want to retrieve, you would just go back down here, unclip from your anchor that's right here, and after you unclip from this, get your knot out, then grab the rigging both sides and pull it down. You're just doing everything in reverse. If you go and this thing's set up there, and you go and you're like, okay, we're done. Oh no. Now you gotta try to pull this thing out, and if you notice, the knot barely went through that crotch. I'm not getting a pulley back through that crotch. So you could kind of goof up, and then you got to climb all the way up there to get this thing out, because it won't come down. So you got to remember that, and when you're done, you want to grab both ends like this and pull the whole system out. I got it set up backwards. So it would come out like that. But you don't have to use this little quick climber setup. You could just hook up here. This is how I would do it. I got a couple feet of rope here. So I would tie the circus knot. 1, 2, 3. Then I would put that up against the tree. I would go with the rope around. I would go through the circus knot. Then I'd go back the other way. Then I would just put keep wrapping until I run to the base of my rope. I would put usually I run a carabiner on the end, or a quickie link, or a shackle if I'm rigging. But clip that. It's got a clip on the end. You just keep going back around, back around, back around. And then when you get to there, you grab this strand of rope and pull it down and clip that in. So now this is totally locked off here. It's not going anywhere. And it's in a bite too. It's not gonna, oh damn, I didn't really show much of that, my bad. I'll show it in reverse. So it's got a carabiner clipped on to the base. You made the circus knot. You went through the circus knot there, then went back the other way and just kept wrapping around until you run out of rope, and then you take the anchor of the line and go clip your carabiner on. If you got to bring the rope around a little bit and then reposition the knot. So that's the way I normally would go with. I'd use like a shackle instead of a carabiner. But then you're rigging off that, and it's really nice, really strong. Because the quick climber setup isn't like the strongest thing, so I wouldn't use it. I realized that about halfway into, explaining that. So. I'm not sure I would rely on a hitch cord for any type of rigging. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's not a good idea. I was using it for the sake of it being quick to show you, so that's why I went ahead and slid it down. I would anchor like this. Wrap the rope as many times as you have to, whatever you have to do to anchor it completely to the base of the tree, and use it like that. So, I mean, however you like to anchor, that's what I would suggest doing. I prefer using the method of putting a midline knot a few feet before the end, and then going, like putting it here, and then going around and hooking up, move through it, and then I just wrap in reverse, go against it, so you run out of rope and clip it in to where it's pulling against the back of the beaner. But then that gives you your rigging there. So, but practical climber, yeah, I definitely wouldn't recommend using the. I realized I shouldn't have done that. I was using the example that I used for the climbing, setting a remote climbing setup for like DRT. So. Nothing heavy. But yeah, now I'll show you. I've showed you this. Let's go ahead and take the block off and show how you would set if you wanted to set some rings. The rest of the ways I'm going to show you are rigging rings. So, and if I was doing a rigging ring, let me show you how I would just set that up, period. Okay, so I would use a bigger knot here. That's the only real difference in this is I would use a much bigger knot, and I'll show you why in just a second. So I'm just going to add some rope to this. Okay. So instead of that smaller knot, when even with that smaller one, you could have took the pulley instead of it being so sharp of a bend radius. You could have went and put it through and girth hitched it on the pulley instead, so that it wasn't such a sharp bend radius on with just one piece of rope. It spread it a little bit. I don't know if that would weaken it. I don't really know, but it would keep the two together and kind of depend on them evenly, instead of the way that I had it hooked up, which was the kind of the quick lazy way, where you just clip right into the loop and then you get that sharp bend radius there. But it's not moving all the time. But yeah, probably the other way would be better. So with the rigging rings, first I'll show you the bend right ring, which is a dual ring. It's the easiest by far. So the way I would do it, I would just take this thing and turn it inside out and slip it over the ring. This ring lends itself to this setup, and as you see, it gets a pretty good bite on it afterwards. And you have a ring you're rigging off of now, which I prefer. But just like with the other one, you got to set the rope. Go ahead and put your little stopper so that you don't lose it on the pull up. Pull it up and anchor it off, just like before. And then you would grab your rope and pull your knot out, your stopper knot. That was one-handed, so work with me. If I was anchoring off real quick, I'd go around a bunch of times. Now we grab the base of this. Pull down, go back over that beaner and lock off. And then now you're rigging off the ring up there. The ring being so wide usually orientates itself pretty good on whatever you're rigging off of, which is pretty nice. I like that. But you can see how wide that bend radius is, and is very safe. So. I guess I was making that comment for clarification. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you definitely, because I did kind of. I probably realized it about the time you were typing the comment, so we both were on the same wavelength as far as that goes. Definitely that part not safe. So. And that was safe. Yeah, no sling needed, James. That's what's nice about that. Just use yourself like a piece of your a bull rope or something, and hook it up. So, got anchor, and you got your ring back down. You grab both. You pulled down because you don't want to just pull one out and have to climb up. You get your ring back. That's what's pretty nice about this one. Get it back. Every day when I was done with this thing, I could take it off, inspect it, see how it was. I'd take it back to the sling, which what I use is this loopy sling. It's adjustable, or maybe it's a whoopee sling. I don't know. I mix the two of them up all the time. Sits like that, and then I take it and have adjustable end here that I can adjust out. That's a really nice setup. So, but the other thing we want to know, how to set up a single B string. I would do that like this. Wrap once, twist, wrap twice. So this will hold for good as long as you're not like it'll hold. I'm sure of it because I've always ran my B string like this for as long as I've used it. You can see how it bites down in there really good. Um, if you can get 3 wraps, I mean, I guess you could. I wouldn't go to the outside where it's like going over because it's gonna flip out. This way, there's no way this comes out. I've never had it happen. Um, this, like I said, this is just what I do. I'm not saying do this at all. So, but this is how I do it. Like let's grab it. So B string, in, twist, it's set, rope through, stopper knot, anchor. So there is another way. You could have set this B string up, and it's more of, I don't know. I kind of like it. I don't know if I should be telling people to do it this way, but because I don't know if that's intended. But you could take this whole thing, this loop, go through like this, and over the top. Making this little girth hitched area here to run a rope through. There's a knot on the end of this rope. Oh, it was the wrong one. My bad. I didn't think it had a knot. Run your rope through. And then if you look, there's space. Like, you don't have to worry about those 2 ropes rubbing. There's quite a bit of space. The rope's way down in the channel, and there's space above. So you got a great bend radius with it like this. So I like to have a couple rings. Originally I just couldn't afford the rings on the slings, so I just bought rings, and I loved them not being on slings. Being able to do different things with them like this has been really fun. So, yeah, I like that. Get it back off. You just grab the end that's horizontal, like the throw ball, over the top. You're done. So, last one I was going to show you. If you got a ring sling, and there's nothing super magical here, I would just hook it up like with a prusik knot a few times, wrapping it around. I don't know how that would end up. I can't say that I've ever done it this way. Maybe just once or twice yeah, let's just do that. Let's just do once. Jeez. The sleeve part is so stiff. But you would just set it in a girth hitch there. Oh, it's so stiff. I have to like pull down on this to get it, but we'll just have to like hold it together. But you can rig like that. I should have just moved this thing out of the way, but this sleeve makes it very, very stiff. but you're with a safe bend radius. But I'm sure this weakens the system, all of this. So you have to take all that in mind. You can't, just because you got a safe bend radius doesn't mean you can start pounding weight down into this thing. Yeah, that's about it on that. It's a simple setup. The important part is getting a good location, a strong base anchor, and then connecting correctly. A stop knot would be nice. I should have that. Um, Connecting right, and then making sure that when you go to retrieve, you pull the ropes together and pull the system back down so that you don't got to try to pull it out of the crotch and get it stuck. So, like this one, could you imagine trying to get that through? Like, you could, technically, I guess you could just like put it over the top of it like that, but then it's moving all crazy and stuff. I don't know if this is the best idea. Um, I don't know. I would use like a much tighter knot right exactly where I want it on there and almost cinch up on it there. But yeah, I don't know about this one. You could wrap it. I don't know. I don't know. This one, I guess technically you could, but I don't know. You lose a lot of distance there. I don't really like that either. But I do love the bend right ring and a good B string for setting stuff up like this. It's definitely my favorite and can be set up the quickest both ways, whichever way you wanted to do it, regular or basket. I don't know if this is even considered basket because technically you could rig like this and like this at the same time on the same one, but I just don't know why you would want to do that. But I've seen this before. So, I mean, there's space with both setups. This isn't even set correct. You can see the big gap there between that one. You see the big gap there. So, I mean, it's safe to run them this way, but I don't really know why you would want to do that all that much. Unless you were setting up a controlled speed line. That's the setup. Rigging the speed line part here. You would take and anchor it right below and then have them tighten this line up, and then when you're rigging, yeah, check this out. So if you're setting up and you're getting ready to like rig this section here, you would set that up, then take this, you see that? Kind of, and anchor it off. Ignore that piece. And then as you tighten that down, they could take this end and go over here and like connect it to a tree or something. And then this piece comes off. You rig it. You're rigging it from this. It comes off. But I just don't like that. This kind of rigging, actually that gives me a good idea. If you're ever going to use this kind of ring this way, I would not suggest doing negative rigging from above. So it may even be smarter if I was doing this like this to switch the ropes. So instead of anchoring with that red one here, let me show you what I mean. Instead of anchoring with the red one, we switch everything around. It's back up there. The red one's the one we're gonna rig from. Take it up to the eye, and I'll make this. This will make sense as soon as I explain it. So I even put a carabiner so it's even easier to see all this. So, if we were going to rig out, let's rig this one even over here. So, I would have them take this white line and anchor it off here. Then they could take this end and go out here and make a speed line out of it. You would just clip a strap to this, and then it could kind of ride it. I guess you would want this clipped, connected, like the piece connected with a strap to this end, like from here to here, because then when it come off, it can clip to that and just ride this line down. The reason you can't negative rig out of this is I think there's a chance that if you're rigging straight up and down like this, it could get off and like against the rope. I just feel like there's a risk of that. So it seems pretty obvious that that would happen. So if you're ever going to use a ring like this in the channel, make sure it's positive rigging. That way that there's not a risk of that. You're always rigging from above. So as long as you're doing it from above, I think this is safe. This is just my opinion. I'm not a teacher. So I think this is safe, but I wouldn't recommend it. So this one would rig the actual weight and stuff off of this, but be hooked up with the speed line from here. Because if you had a strap, it would be pretty simple to hook it up. You would say like this, and you bring your white line up. You clip it on, and then you're kind of directing stuff. You're kind of giving it a pull too with the speed line. You're pulling on the limb there. I'll definitely use that soon. Next chance I get, I'm going to use some controlled speed line. We're going to use that with just a single ring. It do everything. And technically, you don't need to run it through there. You could very simply just hook that whole thing up, rig it the normal way, anchor this rope right here. So I admit sometimes my brain wants to overcomplicate some things for the sake of doing it. And then just clip it on. And then you're not using the channel on that. You're using it the intended way. And you rig it off. It's clipped on. It rides this line down. So, oh, none of that was in the camera. Damn it. So anchor off here with your white rope instead. Then clip onto your rope. And then you're rigging out of the regular part the way the ring's intended. There's no chance of this stuff. It's probably safer just to, like, as much as I say I like that I can put all my stuff together and mess, it's probably safer just to buy this stuff from professionals instead of, you got enough going on as a climber. Probably not good to put everything on you. I don't like that when using two rigging lines. I'm already tying while the groundies are taking the cut limb. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you could run two ropes. Personally, I think when it comes to rigging, it just depends on the tree. I don't think there's probably a quicker, easier way to do things other than like get a good rigging point. Like in a pine, you did bundle rigging or speed lining. It's about as quick and easy as it gets. I think bundle rigging could be quicker than speed lining even, but maybe not. But you could, rig a rung even on the way up. Set a rigging point, two up, move it. But yeah, it definitely depends on the tree and the situation. But yeah, all of them come in handy and are good techniques. It's just you got to find the right tree to put them into. Yeah, yeah. I was just thinking because I've done some. I have some videos on double block rigging where you rig off of a ring kind of in that fashion, but instead of it's actually set up here. I'll show you one. Does it have this in the camera? No. Here's a very very fun rigging setup. Probably one of my favorites. So in this you end up using oh I'll use this. Well, I could just use the block. I use the block. So say we're gonna rig this piece right here. Um, you would just let me block it first. It's actually a pretty quick setup. I hear a lot of guys say that it takes way too long, it's pointless, but you can set this up. Then with your rigging line, it actually ends up going. I don't know if that fits through there. Come on, damn it. Got too many ropes out now. Let me put that back up. I'm going to anchor the ring real quick. Okay, so you would rig out of this ring. Like we'll do it this way, just to demonstrate. But it works. It'll just be a little easier to see. So the way it works is it goes from this. Let's hook it up the normal way you would rig a rigging ring from there. And actually, just so it shows up nicer, I'm switching the ring. Or no, I'll set it up. Set it up this way. I'm so indecisive. Okay, so the ring's set up. The way the rigging works is it goes through the ring, then up through the block. Then you have the end. Let's say here, I would take it and I would put it up. Try to get some distance between it and the other. And I would probably go somewhere up here. I should have put it the other way. I was biting down. But and it would be safer to go ahead and just put a knot. But I would anchor that there, and then they tighten up. And then what happens is when this piece comes off, it runs on the span of this. Ooh, no, I hooked it up wrong. Wrong end. My bad. I would have messed up. Um, this end you're supposed to anchor. And you could just anchor it right here next to it. And then you got one anchor on this side of the tree, on the back side of the tree, and you have the actual rigging point here. It'll come down, hit here, and it will be lowered off of this ring between the two pieces. So it's like a negative rigging, but in span rigging form, which it works really, really good, but you would be surprised the amount of friction that it ends up adding to the system. Even if you're using a block or a ring, it doesn't matter. Like, definitely changes the wraps for sure. So I think it just spreads things out a little more, especially if you're using really, really, really big girthy pieces. But yeah. That's my demo. What are you guys doing? I'm gonna catch up with you guys for a few minutes, and then I'm probably gonna call it a night. Pretty whipped. Stuff everywhere in here. Oh no, I need that. Let me put this up here. Oh, okay. Then untie and walk away. And James, see you, buddy. All right, guys. Well, I'm pretty whipped, man. I'm tired. Um, just been nasty around here. I wish the weather would change, clear up a bit. Just gloomy and gross. So I'll try to I'll try to do something a little more planned out for the next live feed. We have 98, 99, and 100. So I'll be glad to get to 100 and probably take a break. So we'll see. Ground pounder. You too, buddy. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. Try to get some rest and yeah, have a safe week. And I'll work on probably as far as like quality, it's probably be better stuff. Like the filming will be a little better in the next half of the video. I may have to split it up because I'm having troubles with my editor, but yeah, at first you could tell I was just a little awkward with the camera. I didn't want to be shoving it up in people's face, and like I didn't know if I was really supposed to be filming, and I don't even know. So like that first part of the video, I was avoiding putting the camera up in the air and stuff, but after a little bit, I just kind of did my thing. So that's coming up. I'll get it out to you guys as fast as I can. Everybody have a good night. If I missed a comment, and I know that I did, and I apologize. If it was anything important, like I didn't ignore it on purpose, I promise. So leave it in the comments. I'll get to it. You guys have a safe week. Oh, Dano, what's up, buddy? Oh, right on. Yeah, we just talked about setting a remote rigging point and connecting rings to the end of a rope and just some silly stuff. Just some silly stuff. You guys stay safe and I'll catch you next week. Same time, same day, same YouTube channel. And I'll get you another video out soon too. Thanks for hanging out. Stay safe.